If you want to feel more connected to humanity and a little less alone, listen to Beautiful Anonymous. Each week, I take a phone call from one random anonymous human being. There's over 400 episodes in our back catalog. You get to feel connected to all these different people all over the world. Recent episodes include one where a lady survived a murder attempt by her own son. But then the week before that, we just talked about Star Trek. It can be anything. It's unpredictable. It's raw. It's real. Get Beautiful Anonymous wherever you listen to podcasts.
Have you ever found yourself tossing and turning under a bright, full moon, feeling oddly restless or waking more than usual? You're not alone. For centuries, people have suspected that the moon has a mysterious pull on our sleep, right up there with werewolves and the farmer's almanac. On today's episode, we will take a look at the legend and science behind how that big ball of cheese in the night sky affects us. I'm Jay, and this is Somnilopod. Hello everybody, welcome back. I am so glad that you joined me today. Now, with Halloween coming up, I've sort of been thinking about some ideas for episodes, and one of the ideas that I had was about the moon and how moon phases can affect us. I've always thought this was intriguing, but is there any truth to it? Or is it just another myth wrapped in silvery moonlight? As someone who has spent more than 3 decades in the world of sleep, I have heard this question more times than I can count. So, let's take a closer look at how the phases of the moon might influence your sleep, what the research actually says, and what you can do if you suspect you're sensitive to it. Now, long before we had clinical sleep studies, people noticed they seemed to sleep differently around the full moon. Ancient folklore is loaded with ideas of the moon stirring everything from passion to madness. And actually, the word lunatic comes from the Latin word luna for moon. It makes intuitive sense. After all, the moon is powerful enough to pull tides. Why not our sleep cycles too? And before the invention of electricity, the bright light of the full moon was a big deal. It meant nighttime was suddenly a lot brighter, not great for bodies tuned to darkness as a cue for sleep. Now, modern science has tried to shed some light, pun intended, on the topic. The result, it's sort of a mixed bag, but it's interesting. A well-known 2013 Swiss study published in Current Biology found that around the full moon, people took 5 minutes longer to fall asleep, slept 20 minutes less overall, and had about 30% less deep or slow wave sleep. Even more fascinating, this happened in a controlled lab environment without windows, so participants didn't even see the moon. Now, on the other hand, several follow-up studies have struggled to consistently replicate these findings. Some showed minor effects, some none at all. And this suggests that if the moon does impact sleep, it might be subtle or only affect certain people. Now, there are a few theories floating around about how the moon can affect us, and one of those is light levels. It's the simplest explanation. A full moon is roughly 250 times brighter than a new moon. And even with curtains, more light might sneak in, telling your brain it's not time to produce as much melatonin, our sleep hormone. In our ancestors' time, sleeping under a full moon without streetlights or blackout curtains could certainly have delayed bedtimes. And since the moon's gravity affects the oceans, some wonder if it could influence the fluid systems in our body. Realistically, though, the gravitational pull on the human body is tiny compared to its effect on vast bodies of water. So, while poetic, this is probably not the main. Some researchers speculate humans might have evolved to track lunar cycles, maybe for reproductive or hunting seasons. That could mean a faint lunar rhythm still lingers in our biology, subtly influencing our sleep. Now, anecdotally, some people swear that they are moon sensitive. They might notice they're more restless, have vivid dreams, or wake up more often around the full moon. It could be due to slight changes in light or heightened awareness of the lunar cycle, or even expectation. If you believe it's going to disrupt your sleep, it just might. Children and light sleepers might also be more prone to moonlit disturbances. And of course, anyone with thin curtains or a bedroom that faces the night sky directly is more likely to have their sleep disrupted simply because it's brighter. So what can you do about it? If you suspect that the moon's messing with your sleep, the solution is pretty straightforward. Treat it like any other source of excess nighttime light. Blackout curtains. Invest in some of those, y'all. Or, if that's a little too expensive, an eye mask. Blocking that moonlight can help keep your melatonin production steady. And stick to your calming bedtime routine. Even if it's a little brighter outside, those things that you do to make yourself wind down are always going to be essential to helping you get to sleep. Try some white noise. The full moon can also bring more nighttime animal activity or human nightlife. A fan or white noise machine can help mask some of these unpredictable sounds. And keep your perspective. Even if your sleep is a little lighter during the full moon, it's usually not dramatic enough to wreak havoc on your overall health. Most people's bodies bounce back pretty quickly. Well, the science is still sorting out how or if the moon phases affect our sleep in a meaningful way. There's enough evidence both in research labs and countless bedrooms to suggest something subtle might be going on. At the very least, a bright full moon can mean more light seeping into your bedroom, and for sensitive sleepers, that's enough to cause a few extra tosses and turns. So, if you've ever found yourself staring at the ceiling on a glowing lunar night, know that it's not all in your head, and you're in good company. With a few thoughtful adjustments to your sleep environment, you can keep your nights restful, no matter what phase the moon is in. I hope this has been helpful for you. If you're one of those sensitive people, let me know. You can touch base with me at j@somnilopod.com, or you can reach out to me through Instagram or Facebook. And until we speak again, please remember to make sleep a priority. Thanks so much.